You see that thing happening here? That's the same thing that's happening in its nostrils. Hello there. Today I will be making a sketchbook tour. So these are all my sketchbooks, some of my sketchbooks actually. So I can show you the cover of this one for a very private and personal reason. So so yeah, this I make all of the sketch pads. I sell them actually. So this work I did a caricature of a friend in 2019, 17th of March. So I started using this particular sketch pad April of 2019. April 2019. So this is Pelé. I'm just trying now. I need to say this, around the time I started using this particular sketch pad, I was more of experimenting. There are things I'm already comfortable with the pen, but I just wanted to just experiment. I was trying a whole lot of things. This was a fun one. I was actually in a lecture and the lecture was very boring, and I decided to just pick up a paper and start sketching, and yeah, that came up. I was still working with the negative space. If you followed my work, you should know that. It was actually a paper out of this sketch pad, so I just had to paste it kind of. This is a birthday wish for a friend. This also is a birthday drawing wish for a friend. I need to say this. This I did when I was on transit. So I was on transit to Abuja from Jos, yeah. So if you're not in Nigerian, you wouldn't know what I'm saying, but just understand that I was on transit. So the car was moving, there are some potholes and everything, and I get to do this. So yeah, and I usually don't do scribbling, but this guy, Oklo Oliver, he does scribbling. So it was kind of like English. It's kind of like, you know what, he does scribbling, I did scribbling. That's it. I'm not going to stress myself. And here we have this guy. If you notice, I'm trying to create a pattern kind of, so I'm just trying to, and yeah, this is cheap paper for this particular one, so that's why I don't usually draw behind here. I just draw on just one side, but I've started making thicker paper sketchbooks that you can do both front and back and all of that, unless of course you want to frame them. So this is another one. This I did when I was in Abuja amusement park. This is another one. Now for this particular drawing, I was more about experimenting than getting the drawing right. So it was really just, I was just not trying to be politically correct. I was just throwing caution to the wind and all. So this one is a life drawing. It's a life drawing of a friend. This was in amusement park, Abuja amusement park, 2019, June 7th. So this lady is a very, very beautiful artist, beautiful human, beautiful artist. Somebody I respect a lot. Yeah, I think I'll just put up her work on the screen. Maybe here, you just see them. Yeah, she actually is a very good artist. Onye, you should follow her up on social media. I will link it up and stuff. This this work is terrible. To me, this work is terrible, and like I said, it's experiment, right? So I'm just trying everything that doesn't make sense to me, that makes sense to me, everything. I'm just throwing caution to the wind. Here I was trying to just use curves, shorter and smaller curves, and just see how I can basically contouring, but not contouring. You know what, I just use circles, semicircles, short lines and everything. I was trying the same thing here also. I got overwhelmed, I just left it. Now this plain sheet here is an indication of a new year. So here is September 2019. Now you need to also know that while I was doing all of this, I was running other sketchbooks. So I wasn't drawing only on this sketchbook. I have other sketchbooks that I usually work with, like say 3 sketchbooks at the same time. So this is not just a sketchbook I was running when I was having this. So yeah, so I the same thing I was doing with the former one is what I was doing here, trying to push it. I lost it, of course, and you can see. But then the negative space, trying to understand it and all. And if you notice what I'm doing here, I'm not actually drawing. Like I get to draw with pens. And yes, I don't draw with pencils. I just go straight with pen. So it's kind of like training my measurement and all. Well, we have a blank page here, and this is indicative of a new year. So like I said, this is September 2019. You'll be wondering, it's not December. Yeah, I don't have only one sketchbook. I work with up to 3 sketchbooks at the same time and all of that. So some other media. So 2020, yeah, 2020, this was the first artwork I did in 2020. It's of a friend, 9th of January 2020. Yep, so that's it. Then experimentation again. Now I did the real work of this one. I'm going to find it and just maybe put it here for you to see. I have thumbnails I did of this one. I will find it and still show also on the screen. This also again is still the experimentation, trying to use less lines and stuff. The same thing here. Now I need to say something. I got, at this point, I was so engrossed with other projects that is not totally art related and all of that. So I've not really drawn for a long time. This is me forgetting my lines. Like I didn't know what to do. Like I was just looking for how to get my mojo back and all of that. So yeah, I now decided to, like I said, in the spirit of experimentation, I tried to like, okay, maybe animals. Let's try animals and see. So I was trying all kinds of things, just pushing my comfort levels and comfort boundaries and all of that. Comfort boundaries, what's that? Okay, cool. So here I was trying the negative space, the thick line thingy and all of that. So I was just really trying to evolve in my style. So that's what's really happening here. I don't know what else to tell you. Yep, same thing, the thickness thing and all of that. Now I have been doing this before now, just that I'm just trying to emphasize it. I'm trying to make it more like a signature kind of my work. Negative space, thick lines and all of that. In around this season, that was what I was going about. And here is to be. It's kind of like, this is dark, this is very dark. So this is a parcel and a skull is in there and a rose, and it's to be. So it's like, I wonder who will send this to. Okay, I will say nothing, but this was 5th of February 2020. I will say nothing. This is a robot. I really hated this work, but strangely enough, when I posted it, a lot of people loved it. Like, I mean, some people shared it and even made some articles on it, and I was like, wow, this is horrible for me. Very, very horrible. This is not the idea of a robot if I really wanted to do one. So I don't know, maybe different strokes for different folks. Yeah, this is eBay Anana Bar. Again, what I told you about negative space, I wasn't drawing, I was just shading and just going. So like this place here, in the main work I posted on my social media, it didn't have all of this because it was something I just had to add to make the anatomy of the head more human. So yeah, this man here, I need to say this man here is the reason why I'm actually even doing ballpoint pen. I never knew anybody could use ballpoint pen to do any drawing. I will link him also. I'll put his social media on in below this video, and maybe just show you some of his works here so that you understand. He's so versatile. He does ballpoint pen, he does acrylic, he does oils, he does watercolors. He's among the masters of watercolor in the world. Watercolor masters of the world, something like that. I will get the real one and actually put it up there and you check him out. He really is very good. We've just met once. Yeah, we've met once. So it's not more about like, okay, sitting me down, teach me. No, I just studied his work. I studied his work and I evolved from there and all of that. Very, very supportive artist. He really looks out for the younger ones. Maybe I've said so much. So here, I don't even know what this is. This is just shenanigans. This is Conte pencil. Is it colored pencil? One of the two. So it's just a mushroom and yeah, negative space, you know, exploration and stuff like that. This drawing got to be one of my best drawings. I really, really love this drawing. The reason why I love this drawing is because all of the things I was trying to experiment with here kind of came together here. and it made sense. Again, this was during a lecture that was boring. I think I have a thing with boring lectures and bringing out stuff that are quite cool. So you see the thick line here, the boundary lines, then there is negative space in between with the boundary lines and all of that. Then you have, anyway, this is just what this is. This is yet another one. Sorry for the ambient sound and all of that. There's a lot of wind in my vicinity right now. So yeah, negative space, you know, just lost edges, that kind of stuff. See this place here, the white space just goes in, like, so all those kinds of stuff are the things I really was trying to bring out more, like the background entering into, these are the things I want to actually, the hair and the background. I think these things will be shown more in my paintings when I start sharing them and all. Yeah, this is another life drawing I did. I just bought some set of pens, some Stedler pens, yeah, and I was trying to check out how they worked and everything, and I loved it. Yeah, I did love it. As of the time I used them, I still love them. This is a very good example of showing you how your sketchpad is not this museum of awesome art or stuff. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, do stuff that doesn't make sense. So like I told you, I was still in the spirit of trying new things and all of that. These guys didn't work, obviously. So yeah. Ooh, this is, I believe, a good description or presentation of my style. So you have the negative space going on, you have the thick line going, you have that same thing I told you about, the one of the reasons why I love this particular work. You see that thing happening here, that's the same thing that's happening in his nostrils and all. So it's just so beautiful. I love this work. Yeah, this Tobechukwu on Onigwe. Yeah, Tobechukwu is a rapper, is Nigerian rapper, not born in Nigeria, but you get the point. This is another life drawing. Was very quick. This was something I was trying to see how I could push light and dark, really, but I was using green. I was almost tempted to bring in blacks to darken the dark tones and all, but I just let it be. So yeah, this one is another life drawing. This is one of this life drawing was quite eventful. Yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, we were in the room. He came to visit. It's a friend, a brother, came to visit, and there wasn't power, so we went out. And on the rocks, that is, if I find the picture, I will link them up. And I just drew him, life drawing. Basically, that was what happened. So this work has a very soft spot in my heart. Now, this is why. Let me raise this up so that you see clearly. You see the eye? The eyeball, like I had to, like, everything around the eyes is not delineated, it's not defined. Just that white spot was what was defined. But if you look at it, it gives the idea of it. And I loved how very minimalist the nose strokes are. Like, I don't know, I just love this. I just love this. This is kind of like an ideal picture in my head when I want to sketch something or draw something. This is the artistic liberty I want to have when I'm doing stuff like this. Yeah, so I have this. This was still the, if you notice what I'm saying, the style thing. Yeah, so all of this. Then this was not so much of a good drawing for me, but it pushed me. I was still exploring. Sometimes it's, you know, it's quite interesting how people look at these things and they're like, oh, it's so easy and stuff. Knowing what to leave, where to leave white, where to make dark, where to make light, where to, and everything coming together, that's not easy, really. That's really not easy. And for some of you that would just study these things and just replicate or something, that could be easy for you because you're just referencing, right? But for the guy that had to sit down to analyze and like, it's something else, really. But I'm very happy with all of this. Here, moving out of comfort zone. I think here it's a tree, of course, obviously. The negative space thing, the thick line, and all of that. So that was really what I was trying to work out during this season and all. And then this should be the last drawing on this sketch pad. I'll be in this sketch pad. So it was something I was still, if you check, you just see that. Okay, and here I was trying to go a little bit soft and stuff like that. Yeah, so this is July 2020. So this is the last drawing, and then here I have some calculations, and there's some pages I really don't want you to see right now, so I'll just go to the last one. This, I think, is very indicative of how my mindset was as of the time I was drawing in this sketchbook. You know, life is funny. If you don't repeat the actions of your own success, you wouldn't be successful. You got to know, I think, your own formula, your own ingredient, what made you you. KRS-One, hip hop knowledge, blah blah blah. So, but the principle here basically is just about knowing the process about your work and knowing what makes your work your work. Because if you don't know the ingredients that makes your work, you will stumble into success for your own style, and that is a terrible thing. So you want to study, you want to go in deep and study your work. The reason for showing this sketchbook and the sketchbook tour is really just to show you how vulnerable I can be when it comes to these things. It doesn't have to be, it's not even archival paper or anything. It's just normal cheap paper, just to get your hands working and figuring out things. Thank you for going through this with me. Watch out for the other sketchbooks, and I will put them in this playlist so you can just go through all of them when I upload them. Thank you very much for following and helping me build a family here with you guys. Thank you. I think I said that before. Okay, thank you again. Okay, bye.